we interrupt our regular Football Manager content to bring you a story about match fixing in America. I'm from Southeast Asia, home to some of the biggest match fixers in the world, so we should know what we're talking about when it comes to match fixing. If you follow Asian football, then the name Wilson Raj Perumal should not surprise you. This man was one of the biggest match fixers in the game. At one point, before he was arrested, he had an interview with CNN and he shared with them the number of contacts he had within the football industry. A quarter of all football associations in the world, he had his hands in all of them. So this man could definitely influence football matches. According to Raj Perumal himself, he would sit in the dugout, give managers instructions, give players instructions, and if they didn't follow his instructions, yes, there was a bit of violence to follow as well. What does this all have to do with the US of A? Well, there's been a scam and it involves MLS side Los Angeles Galaxy because they thought they had beaten the Malaysian national team 4-1 when in reality, the team that they beat was a bunch of impersonators. According to Mark Stafford, a Kiwi football pundit, the match was arranged by a bookie pretending to represent the Malaysian Football Federation. They copied letters and names. I mean, identity theft is fairly easy to accomplish nowadays. The Americans fell for it. The MLS side agreed to having the friendly because they were going to get a fee. I mean, basically, it was all expenses paid. So what did they have to lose? The bookie placed bets on the dark market for the match to produce 5 goals. The final score on the day was 4-1. So the bookie made loads of money off a match played by MLS side Los Angeles Galaxy against a fake Malaysian side called Harimau Melayu. He had the players dressed up as Malaysian players in their Malaysian national jerseys, but this wasn't the Malaysian national team. When the story broke, the Malaysian FA was outraged, not because they had lost the game, but because this was the second time something like this has happened involving the Malaysian national team. In 2009, Malaysia played 2 friendlies against Zimbabwe. They thought it was Zimbabwe. It was a team that looked, it dressed, it sounded like it was Zimbabwean, but it wasn't a national side. That was a scam perpetrated by Wilson Raj Perumal. Perumal was just a fixer. He was part of a global syndicate. After he got arrested, FIFA basically dragged him around the world trying to expose other kind of fraudulent activities that were happening. But, between 2009 and 2023, one would have thought that this matter would have been put to bed. But it's just happened in the US of A. Corruption perpetrated by some very enterprising fixers who have managed to con the MLS side into believing they were playing a friendly against the Malaysian national team. The question needs to be asked, how far does match fixing go right now in the global game? Because it sounds to me that it never left.